What is up? My name is Mike and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to take you through a very powerful inner journey through breathwork. This technique is very similar to holotropic breathwork, if you've ever heard of that. It's kind of similar to the Wim Hof method, but much longer. It's a much longer technique and you can go much deeper in a different way, but it is definitely more similar to holotropic breathwork. So this technique goes by many names, but I call it personally shamanic breathing. So first in this video, I'm going to tell you kind of a little bit like what shamanic breathing does, what breathwork does. Then I'm going to explain some of the effects that you get mentally and physiologically. And then I'm going to take you into the technique. I'll model it for you and show you exactly what it looks like and exactly what to do so that you could have your own profound experience, because this is really a journey into the inner worlds. You can go completely beyond the physical realm with this technique that I'm about to give you. It's extremely powerful and it could also really help you release a lot of energy in your body, okay, which can feel amazing. You could release stuck emotions, release just these old energetic patterns and feel amazing, beautiful emotions. So first, let's get into what is breathwork. For those of you who don't know what breathwork is, I'll just begin by explaining to you what this powerful technique is. And very simply, what breathwork does is it allows us to move beyond the thinking mind and get in contact with this deeper intelligence, this internal guidance system that we all have access to. And why that is so powerful is because this deeper part of ourselves knows exactly what we need to experience in this moment for our greatest health and our greatest growth in all areas of life. And how this is accomplished is that breathwork actually allows us to turn down the volume of the default mode network in the brain. And the default mode network, or DFM, is actually responsible for all of our memories and thoughts, and it actually creates that internal dialogue that sort of incessantly runs nonstop for most of us. So by intentionally breathing in a certain very specific and very powerful way, that monkey mind, as it's called, or the chatter, the incessant mental chatter, actually gets turned down naturally. It's a byproduct of doing this specific breathwork technique. And what that does is it opens the space for us to access deeper states of consciousness. So simultaneously, we will be using music that actually helps entrain our brain waves, which means that the brain waves start to change and slow down. So we drop into kind of an alpha or theta brainwave state, which is very dreamlike. It's the state where our dreams do occur. So in this space, we actually can allow mystical experiences and profound insights to reveal themselves to us. Many of my clients report experiences that are as powerful or more powerful than plant medicines such as ayahuasca or even hallucinogenic psychedelics such as LSD. So breathwork actually allows us in a very safe way to begin to open the door between the conscious and the unconscious minds and create this space where physical, mental, and emotional healing can take place. Also, breathwork produces some pretty amazing physiological changes because as we oxygenate our bloods and release carbon dioxide at a slightly faster rate, our body's pH actually increases as our blood alkalizes, which produces some amazing health benefits. So in this way, breathwork gives us the whole full spectrum range of this very holistic experience on physical, mental, emotional, and energetic levels. Shamanic breathing is extremely powerful, but just know that this technique utilizes your internal guidance. You're tapping into the inner shaman, the inner guide, this inner intelligence that is only going to give you what you need. So if something comes up, It's meant to be processed so that you can heal and grow. So this is a really safe technique, but just as a disclaimer, it is powerful. Okay, so just know that. You know, just briefly, some of the experiences you can have are really amazing. People have full on what I call body orgasms or body releases, where all of the muscular tension in your body releases, and it's like this beautiful, blissful, like orgastic experience. People's bodies, very kinesthetic experiences are common, where your whole body will go numb or vibrate or tingle, and that's just energy being released in your body, which is really, really amazing feeling, very healing. And you could also have transpersonal experiences, which is beyond the personal, beyond your personality, experiencing this deep oneness with the universe, experiencing kind of cosmic, psychedelic type of experiences. There's a lot of things that could happen, but just know that you're always in control, and whatever comes up is meant to come up so that you can be the best version of yourself. The technique. So I'm gonna give you the directions, and then I'm gonna shoot a clip of myself actually doing it so you can see what it looks like. But basically, the directions are really, really simple. Okay, ideally, you really want to do this for close to an hour. That's like a full session. And unless you're ready to commit to that, I wouldn't recommend really going into it. You could do the technique that I'm about to give you, but maybe just do it for like 10 minutes and just so you could see how it feels. Because if you do really start to go into this process, you want to finish it out because it has a certain trajectory of experience. There is a peak, like when you take a psychedelic, there's a peak. And likewise, when you do this technique, there is a peak. So just like when you ride a roller coaster, you wouldn't jump off and get off the ride at the top of the roller coaster. You'd wait for it to finish. So I recommend doing this for an hour. That's kind of like usually a full session. But if you want, you could kind of just experiment for like 10 minutes and just see how the breath feels. But the technique is really 3 or 4 things, like I said. 1, for the first maybe 10 or 15 or 20 minutes of your session, if you're doing the full session, you want to breathe in and out through your mouth, okay? So the reason for this is you could take much more oxygen in through your mouth, and also you're signaling your body that it's okay to release emotions if that comes up. Because whenever you're emotional, whenever you're in an intense emotional state, you automatically start breathing through your mouth. You know, if you're scared, if you're happy, you'll notice you start, wow, you breathe through your mouth, okay? So you're cueing your body that it's okay to process and release emotions. So number 1 is mouth, breathing in and out through the mouth. Number 2 is you want to do diaphragm breathing, so belly breathing. All that means is when you breathe in, your belly should move out a little bit, and when you breathe out, your belly should move in a little bit. Okay, so let me back up a bit, and it's really just my belly is moving out on the inhale, and it's contracting on the exhale. That's all that diaphragmatic breathing is. So that's number 2. Number 3, connected breathing. Okay, so that means it's circular connected breathing. You're always breathing in or breathing out. There's no gap between the inhale and the exhale. What that looks like is this. So right when I get to the top of my inhale, I'm exhaling. Right when I get to the bottom of my exhale, I'm inhaling. There's no gap. Disconnected, what you don't want to do is this. So that's disconnected. So we're doing connected circular breathing. And the 4th thing is some people, for different body types, you might have to breathe a little bit faster than your normal respiratory rate, but that's optional, feel it out. So this is the outline, and you're just doing this until you drop into the process. How you know you're dropping into the process? The chatter, the monkey mind, the ego mind, the internal dialogue begins to quiet. The volume of the default mode network, which is the chatter in your mind, that begins to turn down, and you begin to drop into yourself. That's how you know you're in the process. Once you're there, you could let go of the technique. If your body is telling you to breathe in through your nose, you breathe in through your nose. If your body's telling you to hold your breath, you hold your breath. You follow your intuition, because this is about following your inner guidance, okay? It's tapping into a deep part of your internal intelligence. So that's the technique. And before I show you guys what that looks like, let me just go over a few things, a few troubleshooting tips. So things that you can do to help you drop into the process if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling in your mind. One is sound. So just releasing any sound. Don't use words because we want to stay out of the left logical brain. Any sounds. So if you're feeling angry, even if it's the smallest inclination, let it be big. Let out a scream, a roar. Scream into a pillow if you have to, okay? You're allowed to move. You're allowed to express in this. This is about expression, not suppression. It's not going to pull you out of the process. It's going to bring you into the process. So if you're angry, express. If you feel sad, sob a little bit and see if that helps move something. If you're happy, sing, with the music, express, laugh, vocalize, just make noises. The sound vibration really helps move energy in your body, which is going to help you drop in to the process. Number 2 is movement. Shake it out if you need to move, if you need to bang the ground, if you need to get up on your knees, any of that. Just don't stand up because you can, you're going to be lightheaded. But if you need to move around, you can do that. Just be mindful. So those are 2 things that you can do to help you drop in to the process. And lastly, music is a huge, huge part of this. So finding the right track. There are some holotropic breathing tracks on YouTube. In my opinion, they're not really that great, but if you have Spotify or something, you can make a playlist. Just use some drumming music and then some emotional music like ambient or classical or maybe electronic music that's uplifting and opening, and just use music without words. And that's you want to have some drums in the beginning and some emotional music towards the end. And that's really what you need to at least start to experience the process. So let me get into the technique. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here you see I have a blindfold or an eye mask. You definitely want to use that to block out light. I have my water in case I get thirsty, and I have some chapstick, or you could use coconut oil to put on your lips because your lips might get dry from the prolonged breathing. And you're just going to want to find a comfortable spot. Make sure no one's going to disturb you. Ideally, you don't want the dogs with you, but they were just in my room. So you really just want to get comfortable and just tune in and really just give yourself permission to express. Just let yourself know that it's safe to express here, and whatever comes up, you're just going to allow it to come up. And you can even just start that process by just letting out a sound if you feel moved to do that. And just again, I wouldn't recommend doing this with a puppy just because it might disturb you a bit. But this is just for modeling purposes to show you. So as you can see, I'm going to start deep breathing, and you may not be able to tell, but I'm going to start breathing in through my mouth and out through my mouth. I'm going to start with that deep, connected breathing. So I'm always breathing in or breathing out. There's no gap between the inhale and the exhale. And you'll notice my hands move up because my stomach expands as I inhale, and it contracts as I exhale. So I'm doing deep belly breaths in and out through the mouth, focusing on the depth rather than the speed. So full deep breaths is what you really want to be focusing on here. And you're going to be doing this again for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. You can shake it out if you need to. My hands started to vibrate and tingle. So just move around the body. It helps to move the energy, whatever you need to do. And you'll find, what works for you with experimentation. And then just stick with the breath until you drop into that process. And then you could just let go of the technique once you really get going. So guys, that is the technique. As you can see here, I have my pillows. I was in a comfortable space. No one's home, so I have my door closed. You want to make sure no one's going to be interrupting you with this. Ideally, you might not want to do it with your dogs if they tend to be moving around a lot and stuff. So you really just want to make sure that you have your own space to really go in go internal. So I only showed you a few minutes of it, but I can already start to feel lightheaded. I start to feel the effects of going into that altered state. And when you finish, you want to just give yourself, you know, enough time to lay there and take it in. And afterwards, there are some integration practices that are helpful, like journaling about it. If you had a kinesthetic experience, really imprinting that. So meaning just closing your eyes and remembering what that experience that felt like and imprinting it, writing down everything that happened. And this can help you integrate your process. So this is shamanic breathing. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment below, subscribe for more videos like this, and please, you know, let me know how it goes for you. If you try it, I definitely want to hear about it, and I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me and my dogs. Peace.